Okay, so we were saying about this particular part, nickel CO whole 4. This mechanism is understood now, how we can prepare the acrylates by this particular method. Now we will go to another type of reaction, which is ethynylation reaction. So the third type was in recipe chemistry. So this reaction involves the addition of Hc111CH and its removable protons across a carbonyl group. What we mean to say that if we have Hc111CH and this is a carbonyl group. So firstly, in presence of copper carbide, water under 80 to 100 degrees Celsius temperature and 2 to 6 bars of pressures. So we will be having one side CH2OH, as it said, removable protons across it is reducing the aldehyde into alcohol. Similar group, if we introduce, then we will get so we are earlier having CH2OH. Now I'm introducing one more formaldehyde group. So similar thing will happen on the other side also, CH2, C triple bond C, CH2OH. And now when we are introducing hydrogen gas and Bren nickel, we know that it's a hydrogenation reaction. So it will reduce your triple bond to a complete saturated bond, and therefore it will give you 1,4-butane diol. So this is what we have learned in this particular reaction, how the reaction of acetylene with formaldehyde in presence of copper carbide removes and attach those protons of the acetylene to formaldehyde group. That means in a way it is reducing it. And in presence of nickel and hydrogen gas, we further reduce the whole molecule into a alcohol species. And now we are moving to the lecture fifth uh, topics that has been taken, like further continuation of these reactions. So now this part also involves how we are doing the vinyl pyrrolidone synthesis using the same method which we have seen earlier. So in presence of the calcium carbide, that is catalyst, in presence of the catalyst, it will give you an acetylene molecule. Then treating it with HCHO, catalyst and 300 to 500 degree PSI, 350 PSI, that is the pressure. So under the different pressures, it will be, as we saw earlier also, it was giving us the same product that we have seen in the ethynylation thing. And later on, it can be reduced to a double bond. And this product under treatment with hydrogen It will give you further hydrogenation, will give you 1,4-butanediol that we have seen in previous step. Now what will happen if we do the dehydrogenation? So both the H are going. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this will make a cyclic group where we will have this kind of product, and in presence of ammonia, which is NH3, 230 degrees Celsius, it will replace this O group with the NH group, form this kind of moiety. Then if we treat it with C triple bond CH, it will form your vinyl propylene. This is your vinyl group. This is your vinyl group, and the whole this group is your pyrrolidone. So this is how we do the synthesis of. So up to this step, this is ethynylation of your acetylene in presence of HCHO. And further two steps are involved where we are introducing the ammonia to replace the oxygen with the NH group. And then at last, we are again introducing acetylene to have your vinyl pyrrolidone. So the last part of your this lecture is cyclooligomerization reactions. So we have the fourth type of cyclooligomerization reactions of acetylene, where if I'm taking 3 molecules of acetylene in presence of the catalyst, I will tend to have benzene group. So this is your conventional Repe product. And if I'm using 2 molecules of this same and 1 molecule of this substituted acetylene in presence of metal, M, and catalyst, it will give me a metallative repe. So metal is in between carbon and X over there. This is called metallative repe. So how does it form? If I am having HC triple bond CH, CH triple bond CH, and CH triple bond CH. So this will attack over here, this will attack over here, and this will go over here. Therefore, we form CH double bond C, single bond C, double bond C, single bond C, double bond C, and again single bond C. So this is nothing but your benzene. Similarly, in other step, instead of the CH triple bond CH, we will be having an X over there. So in similar kind of fashion, we can have a synthesis of cyclooctatetraene, synthesis of cyclooctatetraene, which is nothing but this molecule. So how do we do that? So firstly, we are having diacetylene nickel molecule, and in presence of one more acetylene, it will form the active species of this is triacetylene nickel molecule, which is the active species. Now, what it will do, these 2 molecules, as we just said, they will cyclize and it will form nickel 5-membered ring, double bond, single bond. So this is the 5-membered ring, and 1 molecule would be like this way. So this has formed a 5-membered cyclic ring. Now, in this particular step, if I am introducing one more HC triple bond CH, so it would be again having so this will again react with another HCH, HC triple bond CH, and therefore ended up having a 7-membered ring. So it would be like if I'm having nickel, here one acetylene, another acetylene, and here if I'm having 1, 2, 3, 4. So if it reacts with this one, then it will give you nickel, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So this is your 7-membered species now, cyclic species. Now again, this can go in interaction with this one. Therefore, it will ended up having a 9-membered ring. The nickel is here. One, two, three, 4. So this kind of 9-membered ring, and after reductive elimination, it will give us this, and again the first product in presence of HC111CH. So this way we can synthesize the cyclooctatetraene using acetylene, that is called as oligomerization reactions. So this is the 4 different types of reactions that comes under Repe synthesis. So we'll just take a recap of it, all of it. So what we have done so far. So Repe chemistry, which revolves around acetylene. So we found that there are 4 different types. So first was phenylization. Second was hydrocarboxylation. Third was ethynylation. And last was cyclo oligomerization. So these are the 4 types that we have seen, where the most prominent ones here we got the benzene kind of moiety, where we could make cyclotetraene kind of systems. In ethynylation, we can make acrylates, and in ethynylation we can make this major product was 1,4-butanediol, and then further we could make vinyl pyrrolidone. Then in hydrocarboxylation, where we use the carbon monoxide, there we can make vinyl carboxylic acid also, and also acrylates, which are the esters. And vinylization, we know that vinyl chloride, vinyl cyanide, vinyl carboxylic acid, everything can come under this chemistry. So this is all coming from your acetylene molecule. So this signifies the importance of acetylene in our systems. So I hope you have understood, and I've tried to explain everything in whatever the way I could. So now this was the just this was just the basics of it, what we have read in the week one. This is week one live session. So we will take up the questions of the assignment. Okay. So here are the questions that we are going to take. That is the assignment questions for week one. So they are pretty straightforward. If you have understood what we have tried to explain in the week one lectures, so you will be able to answer all the questions very easily. So the first question says, the industrial scale handling of acetylene is initiated by. So as we know that whole week one lecture was about the synthesis and the handling of acetylene molecule. So they took up the initiative to come up with some conventional method where we can handle the acetylene, which is very difficult to handle if the pressure goes up to 200 atmosphere or so and so forth. So they devised some, they came up with Repe glasses, which can be used to handle the pressures up to 200 atmospheres. So out of all those things, we know that Monsanto acetic acid process is the acetic acid formation thing. Represynthesis is about the acetylene, how we use it. Lignanata is the polymerization reaction. So the answer is C, where we know that acetylene is related to the represynthesis. Moving ahead to the next question, Repe glasses were designed to safely work with. As I have explained earlier, that Repe glasses is nothing but the special test tubes which were being designed for handling acetylene under higher pressures. So therefore, the answer is C, that is acetylene. The third is the Sohio process is best expressed by carbonylation of alcohol, hydroamination of acetylene, oxychlorination of ethylene, or oxidation of propene. So this is taken from internet. That Sohio process is nothing but if you have a propene kind of molecule. So this involves a propene, that is alkene. So its starting substrate is not the alcohol, not the acetylene, not the ethylene. The starting substrate has to be propene. So if you know it, you can easily take it. So in presence of ammonia, it actually goes under the oxidation in presence of the oxygen. So it will form an N triple bond C over here, CH, three double bond CH2, and with release of the H2O. So this process is specifically for the propene reacting with the ammonia gas in presence of the oxygen to give you a N 3 triple bond CH2. So this is called an oxidation. So the answer is your last one. Now going ahead, the fourth question was the hydrocarboxylation of acetylene produces propoylic acid, propionic acid, acrylic acid, or acrolein. So we know easily that if we have CH triple bond CH, that's why the mechanism is very important to understand. If we have a carbon monoxide and the H2O, it will give you a CH triple double bond C H and COOH. This is nothing but your acrylic. So you should be knowing the common names of your products, even if you know the common name, but you don't know what do we call it? So you might end up having the wrong answer marked. Now the structure of vinyl pyrrolidine, we have taken this particular thing into full details where I will explain it here again. So how it starts, we have this CH triple bond CH. When it reacts with HCHO, it will first give you CH triple bond C. It will replace with CH2OH. Then another molecule of CHOH, it will give you similar CH2O, C triple bond C, CH2OH. The so it is giving similar CH2OH, C triple bond CH2OH here also. Then when it is being hydrogenated using the hydrogen gas, so it will form 1,4-butanediol, and on treatment, or we call it as dehydrogenation step, where it will lose the protons and therefore it will form a cyclic group, which is double bond O. Now, if we'll treat it with ammonia under certain temperatures, we will get, instead of oxygen, it will be forming a pyrrole group over there. And at last, when we treat it again with CH, so here it will form N double bond and double bond O over here. So this is your vinyl group, and this is your pyrrolidone. So this vinyl pyrrolidone has structure has been asked, which is nothing but your this one. So therefore, the correct answer out of the all is this A, because here it is double bond, here it is six-membered ring, here it is also wrong. So answer is option A. Okay. So up till now, I don't think there is any difficulty in finding out the answers of it. Now we have acetylene is primarily obtained from, so we know that it is coming from coal. Coal is the major source of acetylene. So coal is the major source of acetylene, whereas natural gas and crude oil is for the ethylene. Now moving ahead, the seventh question says the acetylene is primarily used in. So we have read it that it is used in for welding purpose, which can hold up to very high temperatures because it's a safer option. It is being used as a fuel gas. Eighth question says the cyclooligomerization of acetylene to produce cyclooctatetraene is an example of represynthesis deals under ring closing metathesis 2+2. So we know that cyclooctatetraene is this kind of system. So whenever we are using the acetylene molecule, they have specified also. So that is called as a Reppe reaction. The next question, the Reppe chemistry of acetylene is usually performed at high pressures because that was the thing for which we have, which they synthesized, they devised the test tubes, the special test tubes which could handle up the higher pressures. And the last question, represynthesis involves the conversion of what? Cyanides to acids, carboxylic acids to alkanes. Represynthesis, the name repe is associated with acetylene only. So the substrate has to be acetylene. So the only option which is left is acetylene to the functional product. So this is your assignment 1 for the week 1. I hope the questions were very easy to be solved, because if you have gone through the lectures very carefully, there is nothing beyond being asked except the acetylene molecule, which we have explained in this particular live session also. If somebody has missed the session, they can go back and find this live session onto the YouTube. And if there is any question, I'll be happy to answer it. You can either unmute yourself or you can put your question in the chat box. So we will see the next live session on next Saturday from 6 to 8 p.m.